I was 17 when this happened, living in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Illinois. My parents had gone out of town for the weekend, leaving me home alone. It wasn't the first time, so I wasn't nervous. If anything, I was looking forward to having the house to myself. That night started like any other. I ordered food, watched movies, and stayed up way later than I normally would. Around 1:30 in the morning, I was downstairs on the couch, scrolling through my phone with the TV playing in the background. That's when I heard it, a loud thud from upstairs. Not subtle, not something falling lightly. It sounded heavy, like something hit the floor. I muted the TV immediately and just sat there listening. The house went completely silent. At first, I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe something fell in a closet. Maybe I left a window open. But deep down, I knew exactly where it came from, my parents' bedroom. I grabbed my phone and slowly stood up. Every step toward the stairs felt heavier than the last. The house suddenly didn't feel like mine anymore. When I got upstairs, the hallway lights were off. The only light came from downstairs, barely reaching the top of the stairs. Their bedroom door was at the end of the hall, closed. I stopped because I clearly remembered it being open earlier. I walked closer, slowly, carefully. When I reached the door, I tried the handle. It didn't move, locked. That didn't make sense. There was no one else in the house. I knocked lightly. Hello? No response. Then I heard something. Movement inside the room. It wasn't loud, just a slight shift, like someone adjusting their position on the floor. My chest tightened instantly. I stepped back without thinking, and that's when the handle moved. Not from me, from the inside. It turned slightly, then stopped. I ran, straight downstairs, nearly slipping on the last step. I grabbed my keys and phone and rushed outside. Once I was in my car, I locked the doors and called my dad. No answer. A few seconds later, I got a text from him. Why are you in our bedroom? I stared at the screen, completely frozen. I typed back, I'm not. I'm outside. I watched the typing bubble appear, then disappear. No reply. Police came about 20 minutes later. They searched the entire house. Nothing. No one inside. No signs of entry. But one thing stuck with me. My parents' bedroom door was still locked from the inside. I had just moved into a small rental house in Texas for college. It was my first time living alone, and honestly, I was excited. The place wasn't big, but it was quiet. Too quiet. On my first night, I unpacked a few things, ordered takeout, and went to bed early. Everything felt normal until I woke up. It was around 2 a.m., and the first thing I noticed was the sound of water running. At first, I thought I left the sink on, but as I listened more carefully, I realized it wasn't a sink. It was the shower, and it was coming from the bathroom across the hall. I sat up slowly in bed, trying to process it. I was 100% sure I hadn't used the shower that night. I got up and opened my bedroom door. The hallway light was on. I didn't remember turning it on. The bathroom door was closed, and I could see steam slowly drifting out from the bottom. I stood there, completely still. Then I said quietly, hello? No answer. The water kept running. I didn't move closer. I couldn't. Then suddenly, the water stopped. Just like that. Silence. And then I heard footsteps. Inside the bathroom. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Walking toward the door. I ran back into my room and locked it. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped my phone trying to dial 911. I stayed on the line, whispering to the operator while staring at my door, waiting for the handle to move. But it never did. Police arrived quickly. They cleared the house. No one inside. No forced entry. No open windows. But when they checked the bathroom, the floor was wet. The mirror was fogged up. And there were footprints. Bare footprints, leading from the shower to the door. And then they just stopped, right in front of it. I was home alone for the weekend in California. My parents had gone out of town, and my older brother was staying with friends, so it was just me. That night, around 11 p.m., I was in my room talking to a friend on the phone. Just a normal call, nothing weird. Then suddenly he went quiet. I asked, what happened? He said, who's that? I laughed a little. What do you mean? There's someone talking in the background. I told him I was alone. But then I heard it, a voice, very faint, somewhere in the house. I muted my mic and listened closely. It wasn't random noise, it was whispering, actual words. But I couldn't understand what it was saying. Then my friend said something that made everything worse. It sounds like they're repeating you. I froze. I spoke again. Slowly, quietly. Hello? A second later, the whisper repeated it. From somewhere else in the house. Not from my phone. Not from outside. From inside. I stood up, heart pounding. And then I heard it again. This time clearer. Closer. Repeating my exact words. I didn't wait. I grabbed my keys and ran out of the house. Didn't even hang up the phone. I stayed in my car for almost an hour. When I finally went back inside later with my neighbor, everything was normal. No one there, no signs of anything. But after that night, I never stayed home alone again because I know what I heard, and it wasn't just an echo.